And we are live. Let's make sure everything is connecting. Okay. One more announcement. Hey Sue, hey Louise. There we go. Hi Judy, long time no see. Ranunculus, yes, that is the project. All right, I am going to play the intro and get started as people start coming in. And we will talk about the file and a couple of other things, a couple little treats for you guys that you may not know. And we will assemble. And always thank you to my team and my supporters for everything that you do. Couldn't do this without you. You love treats. All right, and we can't forget to say happy birthday to all our May members.
Happy birthday!
And this is Tutorial Thursday, the 19th of May. Tomorrow is Freebie Friday Designs, and we are going to be doing some stickers. We're not actually going to be making them. We're going to talk about them, and we're going to be laying them out. It will be a quick live tomorrow because I have a 2 p.m. Scheduled Zoom. And I have to make that. So tomorrow we're going to talk about how to lay out your stickers and print and cut. So if you're having issues with that, make sure that you join us tomorrow at 1 p.m. For that. Now you want cake, Louise? I know that was a pretty cake, wasn't it? All right, and if you are a Zoomer on Patreon, we have a card that we're going to be doing on Saturday. I will get that posted up tonight so that you can kind of pre-cut and get everything ready to go, and we will assemble that on Saturday. All right, and don't forget, guys, one more week. Next Thursday night during our live, we are going to be drawing our winners for the May Cricut giveaway. It is a sponsored giveaway by Cricut. We will have 4 winners with 4 different Cricut shopping spree prizes. So make sure that you are putting your floral themed Cricut project using any Cricut material or an Access flower image, and you're posting that in the group with hashtag Cricut Blooms. And you can post more than one project. You can post in both groups or more groups, whatever you want to do. You can do that, but you must post in one of those 2 groups, Cricut Crafting with April or Cricutmakerprojects group. And you must go to craftingwithapril.co and enter on that Rafflecopter form under the Cricut giveaway tab. Rafflecopter does the drawing for us so that it eliminates any iffy draws, and so that everything is on the up and up and on a level playing ground for everybody. So you have to be doing that part. You can't just post in the group. If you're posting in the group, that's fantastic because that's part of it, but you must do both things. You must post in the group with that hashtag so that we can find it to show it on YouTube, and you must be entering on that Rafflecopter form. Okay? If you have any questions or don't know how to get there or you need some help, let one of us know and we'll direct you. All right, so tonight's project, Ranunculus, because somebody asked me how this went together, and it's been years since I used this file, and you can see it and you can look it up, but when you pull this project up in DesignSpace, it's not complete. It doesn't have everything you need in there, so I have made this file so that you can actually, it may be complete for what they were doing if you're doing a single flower, but everything wasn't in there. You have to cut it several times. So I'm going to make this public so that you can find it in the Cricut community under Crafting with April. So if you don't know how to do that, you're going to go to the home screen and you're going to type in Crafting with April in the search bar. Scroll down to the bottom of the page and click on the Crafting with April button, and it will open up and you should see this project. If you don't want to do that, I am putting that in the chat right now, and I will also put that link. Guys, please don't let me forget to put that link in the description of the video, because I forgot to do it before I came in and I meant to. So make sure that you remind me, and I'll put it down below so that you can click on that description and get it. Okay. Let me grab that. Okay, so now that you have that, you would have that in there. Just open that up, and we're going to pop to the overhead. If I can get it to, there we go. Couldn't get it to change. We are going to come in here and we are going to put this flower together. Okay? Super fun and easy. But it looks complicated. Okay? And in that file, I have left these attached. Okay? They have been attached. And I leave them on the map, really, until I'm ready to use them. You have your leaf parts here. They're super easy and simple. You can go ahead and put that together. It's really easy. I have those in the file. You're just going to use a little dab of hot glue, and you're going to bring this in and give that leaf a little bit of curve and pop. Super easy, okay? And then this piece goes, see if I've got them flipped the right way. Like so. I might have it backwards. Let's put it this way. Yep, so my textures are up the right way. You're just going to lay those on so that these points all meet up. But I like to tuck this one in, and I almost forgot it on my other one, and I had to put it on the bottom. I didn't almost forget. I got one of them inside and forgot the other one. But I'm just going to put a little dab of hot glue right there on the end of that. And I'm just going to stick it right here at the base of this one. Okay? Because it's going to get covered up a little bit, and that's okay. And then this one, I think I stuck right here. Doesn't really matter. You can put it right here to this side would be good too. You can hold it off till later and stick it in if you want to. I'm just going to pull that off. So we just got that one stuck to the base right there, and that's going to give us our starting point. Next, you're going to pull off the circle piece. Okay? Once you have that circle piece, you're going to start with your smallest pieces. And that's why I say it's easiest to leave it on the mat and pull them off as you need them. Now you're going to need a second mat because there's a second set of these smaller ones because you need 3 flowers. And in the one that they had, it only had the one set. Before I put it together, I wanted to show you guys something really quick that you may not be aware of. And let me pull this over. Let's see. I'm going to slide this over and go over to my monitor so that you guys can see it. And I'm going to have to stretch my page because I have to shrink it down for my other screen. Cricut handbooks. So if you find a project in there that you don't know how to put together, some of the older projects had Cricut handbooks. And you could go in there and you could look up the image set name. And it has PDF files so that you can see how these things go together. Now, if you don't see a PDF file right here, a handbook, it doesn't have it. But you can open it from Designspace. You write right here, 3D Animals has no handbook, okay? But you can open it up in Designspace from here. So if you're looking for a specific image set, you can find it in here and open it that way. But we are looking for 3D floral home decor. This is the one that this particular flower is on. So I'm going to open that up, and it will open up that Cricut handbook, okay? And it will show you all of the, let me shrink down a little bit more here. It will show you some of the things, maybe all of the things. Here we go, 2 pages. Will show you all of the things that are on there, okay? And here's the one that we're doing tonight. Many of you probably have already done some of these florals without even realizing that you've done them. But when you're looking and you come in here, you see things like this. These are not the directions. If you ever used one of the old legacy Cricuts, the little personal cutters, we had these overlays that went on the machines, and you punched in like F1 and how many, and then it cut. That's what it cut. You had to tell the machine what you wanted to cut. Okay, and it tells you how many of each to cut. That's what this first one is. But if you keep scrolling, and you have to go all the way down to the end of all of the codes, we're going to pass all the codes, then you get into the direction portion. And this will tell you how they go together. That being said, you have to know how to read these. Okay? So it can be a little bit tricky. And if you guys are chatting, I might or might not be able to see it right now because you guys have, my YouTube is over here. So I can't see it. But here is the flower that we're putting together. And you notice that those other 2 leaves are not in there. The ones that I just did. The one I folded up and glued, it's not in there. Because it wasn't part of the original design. Somebody used this flower and added those leaves and kind of changed it up a little bit. And that's why it looks a little different. But what it's doing is it's telling us right here that this solid piece, you're going to glue this piece on top to create this piece. So what it's telling us here is we're going to get the circle, and those 2 smallest pieces, we're going to fold those tabs in, we're going to glue them to the circle, and it's going to look like this. Then we're going to take the next 2, and we're going to add it, because when you do this piece and these 2 pieces, this is what you get. Then you're going to take that and add these 2, and you're getting this. You're taking this, adding 2 to get this. Okay? Then you're taking this piece up here, and you're adding the next 2 to get this. And then that piece then has these added to it to get this. So that told me when I looked at that, I needed this times 2 and this one times 3. I had to cut it for each flower. Okay? And it wasn't set up that way. So I had to go in and kind of fix it a little bit. And then you're going to take that and you're going to glue it on here and then make your other 2. You're going to repeat it because you got to have 3 of those. It says times 3 to put on the top here. And then that completes that little project. Right, Sue? Everybody's like, I can't find any instructions to put this flower together. Well, there are instructions, but you have to know where to go to find those instructions because it's a really old project. But still fun, and like I said, I had to practice it because I wasn't sure if I remembered how to put it together. I put it together years ago, and I wasn't really sure that I would remember. So then we're going to go back over. Let me get my YouTube back. All right. So now let's pop over and finish putting it together so that now that you know where to find it and how to put it together, let's go a little bit further and show you exactly. So here's the first 2 pieces that we had, and it said to cut those times 2, and we did 2 sets right here, and then 3 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4 sets actually is what I have. And then we have the outer pieces times 3. 1, 2, 3. You're going to take this piece and you're going to fold back that circular tab. And you're just going to pinch these over to kind of create a moon shape. Sort of, kind of. Okay. Hi, Corinne. And then we're just going to take a little dab of glue. And not on my finger if I can help it. And you're going to glue that center one right to the bottom of that circle. Okay? And I like to do both sizes at the same time. So I'm going to fold that one and pinch it again. And I'm not going to put but one of these together because you guys can see I just glued them down. I added a little butterfly. Gorgeous on the top of a package or on a gift bag. And again, same tab, center tab right here. I'm going to put another little dab of glue. And I'm going to go opposite of this one. So I have a piece that looks like this. Okay? Just going to open those little tabs up and put a little dot of glue right there on that one. And we're going to bring this in and give it a little bit of a cup. We want it to fit. Oops, I knocked that one loose. I didn't get enough glue on there. You want it to cup right around that circle. Okay? Just going to glue that again since I pulled it loose. Hi, Leslie. And I start with the center. If you want to start with the edge, you can start with the edge one. Doesn't really matter. And then I'm putting glue on the other side. And I leave my thumb under there to kind of give myself a guide. Because I don't want it to be flat. I want to kind of create a little pocket. Okay? Then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're just going to bring that one in and glue it right over. I'm just gluing those tabs on the bottom. And then we're going to glue this one. So you may have some little pockets like that, and that's good. You don't want it to be flat. If it's flat, your flower's going to be flat. And this one comes out flat enough. Okay? So now we have those 2 on. Now we're going to go up to the next size. So I'm going to pull those 2 off. And I'm just going to fold it exactly the same way. And when you're doing 3 sizes of flowers, actually they're 2 sizes. I have 2 sizes in the file, and when you're, if you leave them on the mat, it's easier to see. You can make 3 smaller sizes if you want to, make them all the same size, totally up to you. But again, I leave them on the mat. Now I am gluing that center tab at the opposite side of where the center tabs are here. So now I'm going to where those ends of the others were. Okay? And this is exactly what those directions on that PDF told us to do. So now we've got that center tab, and now we're going to do the side tabs here. Just kind of hold it and pinch it till it cools, and then do the other side while you're holding it. And I got one popping loose. That first one I started with just doesn't want to stay for whatever reason. But once you start building them together, if it pops loose underneath, it's not going to hurt anything because the other pieces are holding it down. And then glue on that one. Bring that one in. Almost like creating like a cat's eye in the middle. And then we're just going to hold that for a second. Super easy. And then, you guessed it, the next size. And again, folding the same way. Just creating that moon shape. Crescent. All right. And we're just going to go back over here where our seam is at and do it all again. They really go together quick once you've done a couple of them. You get used to it. Just going to pinch those, give them a second to cool. Do the side, and I'm kind of pushing it back just a little to give it a little bit of a bow. I didn't get enough on that one and it's stuck on me, but that's okay. Flowers aren't perfect in nature either. I wanted to pull that one back a little bit. A little bit on that one. I want to put my finger in that glue. And then I'm just giving it a little push to raise it up a little bit, and that's where I'm sticking it. And that one's going to give me a problem because I didn't get it up enough, but it's going to be kind of flat. I'm going to undo that. It's too flat for me. Just going back and making that a little bit looser. I got it down too tight. Just want to give it a little raised area in there, making that little pocket. Why I'm using hot glue and not art glitter glue or a wet glue. There is so much stress on this flower and these tabs, it would be so soaking wet your paper will come apart. Okay, you can let it glue. You can let it dry, completely 100% in between petals if you want to, and it would probably do okay. But it's just hot glue is much quicker and easier on a flower like this. You don't use as much. And if you want to rework it a little bit with hot glue, you can pull it apart and you've got a little bit of forgiveness. But you don't have that with the luxury with the wet glue. Once it's dried on there, it's dried. Okay, so that's why I'm using hot glue on this. I will confess that I did try some of the wet glue when I started my first one. And my paper started peeling and popping apart on me because the stress up on this flower just wouldn't hold. And of course I wasn't letting it get 100% dry. I mean, not just your glue has to get dry. I'm talking about your glue and where the moisture goes into the paper. It has to be completely dry before you start stacking this many layers together. It's just going to pop apart on you. You're just going to have to keep fighting it. This one is kind of looking square on me, but that's okay. That's the way they look. It starts rounding out when you get that last layer on. You never would have started with the hot glue? My link, let me see if I still have that link. There's the link and it's saved, Steph. I saved it. It's also in the community, the Cricut community. I put it in there so that you guys wouldn't have to rework and do any of it. All the sizing would be there. Okay, so now we're down to these 3 pieces. Move that out of the way. So I'll complete those later. You're still going to fold these the same way, but you're going to put them on differently. You're welcome, Steph. So now I'm going to do that center tab again, but I'm going to come in here right at like one of my, because it's supposed to be more rounded than what mine is, but I'm going to call it a corner, and I'm going to stick that right there on that corner. Just sticking it right there. And the back side is not going to be pretty, guys. Don't worry about the back side of it. I almost said your back side, but I didn't want it to sound like I was talking about your backside. And then you're going to get the end, and you're going to pull that one in and kind of round it out wherever it wants to land. And then this end as well. And just bring it in here and kind of tighten it up. And make sure you hold it until that glue sets, because it will slip on you. And then you're going to get the next one. And I still start with the center, but you can start on the end one if you want. And then I'm just going to make sure that that end is going to overlap well from where I'm putting this one. and it is. And I'm just going to hold that one in there. Let that one set. And then do this end. And I'm just curving it. And you can curve it before you bring it on here. Doesn't really matter. I did it both ways. Didn't really make a difference. This one is a little more square than I wanted it to be, but well, get yours a little more rounded than what I did. These came out rounded. I don't know why this one came out a little square, but it did. And then on this last one, I do start at the end tab. Okay? And I place it just past, ow, just past where that petal ended. And then I work this one around. Do the center next. And then the end. And this is the big one that I did here. All right. Then I'm going to bring this over and I'm going to go ahead and glue down these two edges. So I'm just going to put a little glue on those two. And glue that down. And you can go in there and add more glue later. We're just kind of tacking this together right now. And then I like my big one because I did, instead of doing all three the same size like they did in the handbook, I did a big one and two smaller ones. So I'm going to bring this one in on the leaf that is raised up, and I just use the hot glue for this too and place it in there. Just like that. Then you're going to complete your other two and stick those down and decide where you want this leaf. And if you want to put a crease in this leaf, you can do that. Totally up to you to give it a little bit of dimension. But it's probably going to live right there for me. So I'm just going to lift that because I didn't glue this side down. Just going to lift that up and place it in. And then I'm going to glue this one down. Then you complete your other two flowers, place them on there, and if you want to add a butterfly or any ribbons, you can do that. And then you're just going to tack this, glue it, or use your double-sided tapes. And remember, I said I forgot to put mine on. That's why it's on this side, but it will look finished if you do it the right way. But once you've got that on there, add a bow or a ribbon coming out the side. You can run it in between if you want. Put your butterfly on. It's ready to place on the package or the gift bag. Yeah, just past owl. That owl was a hot glue owl. Didn't really burn me, but it was warm. Hey, Debbie. So super easy and simple. This is from the Tim Holtz collection, Shirley. The Tim Holtz Ideology Transparent Wings. It's out of that pack. I picked that up, I believe, at Joann. But super simple and easy. Now I got to make my gift bag. I haven't got that done yet. All right. Does anybody have any design space questions? Anything that you need help with? I'm going to give it just a second so that you guys can... I know I have a little bit of lag here. You did your iPad and did an offset? Yeah, it's working really good on mobile from what I understand. I have not had a chance to use my mobile on it yet. But I've seen a lot of people have been using it and saying it's working awesome. I accidentally closed my design space. So has anybody got any project questions, any design space questions, anything that you're having an issue with that you need help with? Where is my design? I lost my design space. Okay, tomorrow we do stickers. Let me see if I can find that. And I'm trying to pull that up for you as well. Let's see. Steph wanted to know what size I made those. It's kind of hard to tell because the pieces, there's so many pieces and they're grouped. If I can get it to open. Okay. Without moving any of them, this one was at 10.295 by 6301. And then I made my smaller ones 8.614 by 5.272. No rhyme or reason. I just sized it down, made them, and they worked. So. Yes, Debbie, a lot has changed. You've got offset on mobile now. Don't believe they still don't have curved text, but they do have foiling. It's hard for me to remember because I don't use it to design with. I cut from it occasionally, and that's about it. Because I design from the computer. And then you have your leaves here as well. See if I can open theirs up and see what theirs look like. That's the size theirs came in. And you can see it only had one set of the petals. So there wasn't enough to make it with. That right there makes one flower, but you need 3. One goes here, one here, and one here on that. So the way that theirs came in was just sized really, really teeny tiny. You designed a sticker. Yes, things like that. Things that I don't need precise measurements on, and things like this flower. Stuff like that I could resize and I can do on mobile, but I have to be able to see my sizes, and it's too much searching and flipping and trying to find what I need on mobile, because even though it has the same functions, they're all in different places than what I'm used to on the computer, and it just takes me forever, and I can't see. So if I were to try to find out what size this was on mobile, it would take me forever. I wouldn't be able to do it. Alright guys, tomorrow we do print and cut stickers. So make sure you're here at 1 o'clock Eastern time, and we will cover print and cut and how to make all of those stickers, those planner stickers, and how to customize them. That was one that was asked, and we will cover any new images and things that have come up in Designspace since last week, or in Access I should say, since last week. Alright, you guys have a great day, and hopefully you guys are making these for your gift bags coming up for birthdays and anniversaries and weddings. You can make this out of shimmer paper. White shimmer would be so pretty on a bag. So make sure that you're going in and playing around. And if you use 65 pound, this is 80 pound that I use. 65 is going to be a little bit easier to work with. Or either your shimmer papers are going to be easier to work with than the stiff cardstock. But you can do it from cardstock. I like the look of both, so. Alright guys, you have a wonderful night, and I will catch you tomorrow. Thank you everybody. Thanks for watching.